Vallabha Girivaradari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jam Vishnupat Pranam Saparvatikacharya Stotara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Abhay Chandraminda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namachara Shaharidas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Paramanande Hari Hari Bol Oh glorious assembled devotees Hare Krishna Oh glorious assembled devotees Hare Krishna Oh glorious assembled devotees Hare Krishna Oh glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Oh glorious to Shri Prabhupada Namahom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaputari Shrimati Radhanath Swamiti Namini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaputari Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiret Nashta Preshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We are reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 21, entitled Instructions by Maharaj Prithu, Text 31. Yatpada siva biruchistapasvinam Ashisha janmo pachitam malam diya Sadyakshinotyanvaham edati sati Yata padangushta vinisrita sarit Yatpada siva biruchistapasvinam Ashisha janmo pachitam malam diya Sadyakshinotyanvaham edati sati Yata padangushta vinisrita sarit Yatpada siva biruchistapasvinam Ashisha janmo pachitam malam diya Sadyakshinotyanvaham edati sati Yata padangushta vinisrita sarit Pada seva biruchistapasvinam Ashisha janmo pachitam malam diya Yasadyakshinotyanvaham edati sati Yata padangushta vinisrita sarit. Mataji. Yatpada seva biruchistapasvinam Ashisha janmo pachitam malam diya Sadyakshinotyanvaham edati sati Yata padangushta vinisrita sarit. Yatpada, whose lotus feet. Seva, service. Abhiruchihi, inclination. Tapasvinam, persons undergoing severe penances. Ashisha, innumerable. Janma, birth. Upachitam, acquire. Malam, dirtiness. Diyaha, mind. Sadyaha, immediately. Kshinoti, destroys. Anvaham, day after day. Idati, increasing. Sati, being. Yatha, as. Pada angushta, the toes of his lotus feet. Viniksrita, emanating from. Sarit, water. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganges water, which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. Purport. In India, one can actually see that a person who takes a bath in the Ganges waters daily is almost free from all kinds of diseases. A very respectable Brahmana in Calcutta never took a doctor's medicine. Even though he sometimes felt sick, he would not accept medicine from the physician, but would simply drink Ganges water, and he was always cured within a very short time. The glories of Ganges water are known to Indians and to ourselves also. The river Ganges flows by Calcutta. Sometimes within the water there are many stools and other dirty things which are washed away from neighboring mills and factories. But still, thousands of men take baths in the Ganges water, and they are very healthy as well as spiritually inclined. That is the effect of Ganges water. The Ganges is glorified because it emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, if one takes to the service of the lotus feet of the Lord or takes to Krishna consciousness, he is immediately cleansed of many dirty things which have accumulated in his innumerable births. We have seen that in spite of the very black record of their past lives, persons who take to Krishna consciousness become perfectly cleansed of all dirty things and make spiritual progress very swiftly. Therefore, Pritha Maharaj advises that without the benediction of the Supreme Lord, one cannot make advancement, either in so-called morality, economic development, or sense gratification. One should therefore take to the service of the Lord, or Krishna consciousness, and thus very soon become a perfect man, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigachati. Being a responsible king, Prithu Maharaj recommends that everyone take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus be immediately purified. Lord Krishna, Sri Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that simply by surrendering unto him, one is immediately relieved of all sinful reactions. As Krishna takes away all the sinful reactions of a person immediately upon his surrender unto him, similarly the external manifestation of Krishna, the representative of Krishna, who acts as the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, takes all the resultant actions of the sinful life of the disciple immediately after the disciple's initiation. Thus, if the disciple follows the principles instructed by the spiritual master, he remains purified and it is not contaminated by the material infection. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore stated that the spiritual master who plays the part of Krishna's representative has to consume all the sinful reactions of his disciple. Sometimes a spiritual master takes the risk of being overwhelmed by the sinful reactions of the disciples and undergoes a sort of tribulation due to their acceptance. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised that one not accept many disciples. The translation of the verse again. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganges water which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, such a process immediately cleanses the mind and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu behivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Here we can see from this verse that only inclination to serve to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Yes. So, as we explained in our seminar on Grihastha Ashram, this is the central point of any devotional life, either in Grihastha Ashram or Vanaprastha Ashram or Brahmacharya Ashram or Sannyasa Ashram. Doesn't matter. One has full-heartedly devoted himself to serving the Lord. Otherwise, he just continues his material existence with no hope, actually, of developing spiritual consciousness, no hope of connecting with the Lord, actually. Yes. And one who embarks the path of pure devotional service or Krishna consciousness, certainly his desire is to connect with the Lord, isn't it? So, yes, we all want to connect with the Lord. But there are some requirements to really connect. And they are described by Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita. First requirement is to give up some sinful inclinations, or to tolerate the urges of the body. This is first requirement. Yes. He explains that Jihva Vegam, Udara Pasta Vegam, and Manasa Krodha Vegam, Etan Vegam Yovishakita Tira, Sarvama Pimam Pritivim Shashishyat. Yes. So there are urges of the body, like urges of the mind, urges of the tongue, urges of the belly and genitals. And if one is not able to tolerate them to a certain degree, these urges, there is no hope of any advancement. So one should be able to tolerate such urges. And first of all, take shelter of a person who is able to control them. Yes, take shelter of such a person. So one who is completely able to control them, he can accept disciples from all over the world. And then Rupa Goswami explains what are the obstacles to pure devotional service. Yes. Atyahara paryasascha prajarpurmiyam agraha. Jana sanga shalolyam cha shadbir bhaktir vinashati. So eating too much or collecting too much, these are detrimental things for devotional service. And gossiping, for example, we mentioned gossiping in one of our seminars. Yes. So, and association with materialists and greed, material greed, to have things. Jai Shri Prahlad Nasinga Ki Jai. All these things are detrimental for devotional service. And if we think that we can engage in those things in Grihastha Ashram, we are really strongly wrong. We don't understand the purpose of Grihastha Ashram. Yes. Grihastha Ashram is to facilitate us to advance spiritually, to go deeper in our relationship with the Lord. But if we take it as a license to be slack in my spiritual life, and we missed the point. Yes. And then he explains the things that are necessary in the spiritual path. Utsaha nishyadarya tat tat karma parvartanat sangatyagat satovriti shadbir bhakti prasidyati. That utsaha, enthusiasm, is the first requirement. Yes. Without enthusiasm, one cannot progress even an inch in his life. Even if we want to achieve something material, we have to be enthusiastic. One who is lazy, he cannot achieve anything. Have you met any lazy person that would achieve anything? No. Even if you are a criminal, you have to endeavor very hard, very enthusiastically, to be a successful criminal. Otherwise, you're just lazy bum. No one cares about you, not even police. Yes. So you have to be enthusiastic to achieve anything. Yes. So it's the same in the spiritual life. You have to be enthusiastic to attain anything. Yes. And utsaha, you have nishcha. Utsaha is enthusiasm. Nishcha, you should be convinced. Yes, by the order of Shastra, I can understand that this is for my ultimate benefit. And daryat, we should be patient. Without patience, nothing can be achieved. Impatience is the sign of passion. Yes. And then one very quickly gives up his endeavors, because very rarely we can achieve something in a very quick time. Yes. Usually it's not achieved very quickly, nothing, even in material world. What to speak of changing our heart very quickly? Practically impossible. So if we are not patient and controlled, it's impossible to change our heart. Yes, impossible. And then he again, in previous verse, he said that the association of materialists is detrimental for our spiritual life. And now he says that crucial for our spiritual life is to give up association of materialists. So again and again, he stresses this. Yes, it's so important. If I've just recently read in Mahabharata, when Bhishma Dev is instructing King Yudhishthir on proper activities of the king. And he mentions that even if saintly person is keeping association of sinful people, and everyone who is not Krishna conscious is sinful, he is punished along with sinful people. Yes. Yes. Because he's sharing their sinful karma. Yes. Because he's engaged in collective karma. Isn't it? Yes. So if a house of sinful people collapses, if you live in the house of sinful people, your flat also collapses. It's very simple to understand. So don't associate with sinful people. This is very important in life. And many times we can see grihastas tend to live material life and just add spiritual life to their life, isn't it? But Krishna is not satisfied with this. For example, Nanda Maharaj had this idea that he wanted to create nice environment by worshipping Indra, Lord of Heaven. Yes. to have heavenly facilities in Vrindavan, that everything would grow nicely, that there would be nice grasses for the cows, that fields would give nice crops, and so everything would be very nice if he would worship Indra. And these cowherds, they performed Indra Yagya from time immemorial. But Krishna obstructed this Indra Yagya. Yes, he was not satisfied with this, and he directed this Yagya to Govardhan hill, who is he himself actually. So, and it's glorified by the gopis as the foremost of the devotees. Yes, Haridasa Varyo. There are 3 Haridasas mentioned in Bhagavatam. One, they know which 3 are them? One is Uddhava. Uddhava is Haridas, or servant of Hari, of the Lord, famous Haridas. The next Haridas is Yudhishthir, who is also famous as the Lord devotee, as Lord's servant. And finally, the third Haridas is Govardhan Hill. And Govardhan Hill is famous as Haridasa Varya, or the best of Haridasas, who serves Lord Krishna and Balaram, who walk all over the hill. And he serves all the devotees in Vrindavan, and he serves the cows with succulent grass, and gives different herbs and fruits to all the devotees, and gives caves for divine place. So he's Haridasa Varya, the best of servants. So we should also not engage in material activities, not engage in service of materialists, actually, if possible, if we have strong enough faith. This is rare, because usually we are afraid, what will happen if I don't earn money in this material world? But we can earn money by serving devotees, earn our livelihood by serving devotees. Krishna will provide everything. Ananyah chintayanta mam ye janah parupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshimamaham. Yes, Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita in 9th chapter that he will provide everything for his devotees. So he provides for flowers in the field. Lord Jesus said that these flowers are dressed more nicely than the King Solomon by the Lord's will. And he takes care for the birds in the sky. So why he wouldn't care for his devotees? Yes. There is a pastime of Srivas Thakur in Lord Chaitanya saw that Srivas Thakur doesn't perform any job for supporting his family. And he said, I can see you don't perform any work outside to support your family. How will your family survive? And the reply of Srivas Thakur was, and Lord Chaitanya was confused. At least he feigned confusion. And he said, what is this answer? And Srivas Thakur replied, if after 3 days my family doesn't get anything to eat, I will tie big rock around my neck and will drown in the Ganges. Because he just performed kirtan every day, all day long. And then Lord Chaitanya was so thrilled with his answer that he said, even if there will be such hard times and famine in this world, that even the goddess of fortune herself would go from door to beg, there will be nothing lacking in your house. So everything will be provided to you. So this should be our conviction. But of course, this is not possible for everyone. So even if we don't rise to this platform of Srivas Thakur, we should still put Krishna in the center of our life. And when we will refocus our attention from materialistic life to Krishna consciousness, will be tested. Like Vrajvasis were tested when Indra sent forth these devastating rains. Yes. And Vrajvasis didn't complain. You see, Krishna, we told you we have to worship Indra. So now we are destroyed. No. They took shelter of Krishna. So we'll also be tested. And when we are tested, we should take shelter of Krishna. We should take serious shelter of Krishna. Like Vrajavasis have taken shelter of Krishna. And then Krishna protected them very happily. Yes, and they enjoyed great bliss. And when we take shelter of Krishna in such tribulations, we can actually experience great bliss. If we have proper consciousness. If we have material consciousness and we lament because we have lost something material, then we will not experience great bliss. We will experience great misery instead. And we'll take shelter maybe unwillingly. So, yes, it's wise to take shelter willingly, happily, with all our heart. And if we lead our life in such a way, then when the time becomes ripe, we can renounce family life. And this is Vanaprastha ashram. I was also requested to speak on Vanaprastha ashram. And so the transition from Grihastha ashram to Vanaprastha ashram means that we renounce any external activities to support ourselves. And just depend on Lord's mercy. Yes. And this can be done either alone or together with one's wife. We can go together. It's not even necessary to leave the house, although Vanaprastha means one who lives in the forest. And we should live in the forest, especially in the forest of Vrindavan. Yes, this is true Vana that we should live in, Vrindavan. And this is the instruction actually of Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita. And he says that this is the essence of all advice. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityo Kramena Rasanama Nisini Yojya Tishtan Vrajeta Tanaragi Chadanugami Kalam Nayeta Kilami Tupadesha Saram. Saram means the essence, and Upadesha means instruction. And Upadesha Saram, obviously, is the essence of all instruction. is Tanama Rupa Charitadu Sukirtananu. We should glorify the Lord's name, the Lord's form, and His pastimes. Smrityo Kramena Rasanama Nasini Yoja. And we should remember the Lord's pastimes and immerse our mind, our consciousness in the Lord's pastimes, in His rasa, in His relationships with the devotees. Tishtan Vraje Tadunaragi Jananugami. We should live in Vrindavan and follow the example of these liberated devotees, gopis practically speaking. And this is the essence of full advice. So if we don't proceed towards this living in Vrindavan, and is it mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami again, that one should live in Vrindavan, and if one is not able to physically live in Vrindavan, one should live in Vrindavan in his heart. So even if one lives in Vrindavan, but he's not Krishna conscious, he is not in contact with real Dham. Yes, because this is the abode of love. Vrindavan is abode of love of Krishna, and if one is not fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, he cannot connect with the Dham properly. So the whole purpose of our spiritual advancement from the beginning, when we joined ashram, if we have joined ashram, I have never joined ashram because I joined too late. So from brahmachari through grihastha, we should train ourselves consciously to be able to live in Vrindavan. Nothing will come automatically. Nothing will come mechanically. You should understand this. The process is not mechanical. The process is conscious. It's about consciousness. Therefore, this is Krishna consciousness movement. Yes. If we just chant without proper attitude, without proper emotion, we'll not be able to connect. It is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in the 8th chapter of 1st canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam in one of his purports in prayers of Queen Kunti, that the quality of our chanting depends on quality of our feeling. Yes. So maybe in the beginning of our Krishna consciousness, it's not possible to engage deep feelings towards Krishna because there are none. But one should hear constantly. Therefore, hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam is so important. And we can see that not many people are hearing Bhagavatam, not even the residents of the ashram. Yes. What to speak of others? Very rarely one is willing to hear regularly Srimad-Bhagavatam. Yes. But it's crucial for our spiritual advancement. Regularly hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam and understanding Srimad-Bhagavatam, inquiring on Srimad-Bhagavatam. Yes. Jivasya tattva jigyasa. We live, Srimad-Bhagavatam explains, that we live only to inquire about tattva, about absolute truth. We cannot understand properly Krishna's pastimes without properly understanding the tattva. Therefore, Prabhupada said that only one who properly studied first 9 cantos, he can properly understand the 10th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And then 11th and 12th, of course. But 10th canto seems like pastimes of some naughty boy who is overly lusty. And yes, may seem like this. To to one who is not um, mm, really connected with the science of the Lord. And the science of the Lord is thoroughly explained in first 9 cantos of Srimad-Bhagavatam and in Bhagavad Gita also. So we should understand Bhagavad Gita as it is and understand first 9 cantos of Srimad-Bhagavatam, and then we can properly understand the 10th canto. And hearing more and more also of our acharyas. Yes, once Gaura Kishore Das Babaji was asked how to develop Krishna prema, how to develop pure love of Krishna. And he said, go to the marketplace with 5 annas, this was obviously some money at that time, and purchase 2 books, Prarthana and Prema Bhakti Chandrika, 2 books of Narottam Das Thakur, and read them daily, and you will develop Krishna prema. And also by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he instructed his disciples to daily read Prema Bhakti Chandrika of Narottam Das Thakur. Yes, this is all about longing for the certain relationship with the Lord. Yes, and teaches us how to hanker for the Lord. Yes, and Prema Bhakti Chandrika also gives some tattvic understanding, what is proper tattva, what is proper philosophy. But Prarthana is only about longing of personal service of Radha and Krishna. So yes, we should understand this, that this is our goal. Yes. Without proper understanding of prayojana, tattva, or what is our goal, no one can properly engage in sadhana. Yes, it's impossible, because sadhana is activities that lead us to our goal. So the goal depends on our sadhana. And if we don't have proper vision of the goal, proper understanding of the goal, our sadhana will be misdirected. Yes. Yes, both. By properly understanding the goal, we can properly perform our sadhana. And then every goal is dependent on sadhana. Yes. Sadhya depends on sadhana. So yes. Therefore it is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita that by Vaidhi Bhakti alone, we cannot attain Krishna in Vrindavan. Yes. Only by Raganuga Bhakti one can attain Krishna in Vrindavan. But we usually, in our movement, we don't speak much on Raganuga Bhakti. But it should be spoken. Otherwise, devotees will think that there is no place for Raganuga in our movement. But actually it's Shir Raganuga, if one understands properly. So one should hear regularly and attentively and study. This we mentioned this Brahma Yajna, study of scriptures, under the guidance of those who are connected. So if one hears like this the whole life, one can properly start to go very deep in his spiritual life and can give up this idea of comfortable retired life. This is usual desire of materialistic people, that I will work, I will get some pension when I'm old, and I will live comfortably. Isn't it? Yes, with my pension till the fag end of my life. But this is not the idea of devotee. Devotee wants to serve till the end of life. And if there is no service possible, he gladly gives up such a life. Yes. So, vanaprastha, therefore, is for one who is mature in Krishna consciousness, and no one depends on him anymore. No children are dependent on him, of course, for their maintenance. And then he should give whatever jewels he have collected during his life. Therefore, it's so important that we don't put aside our spiritual life, or just that spiritual life in our grihastha life is just part of our life. Should be only our only life. We should understand this. Not just part of our life, but only life. And then we collect jewels of wisdom during our grihastha life. We gain many experiences. We can see many things. We can hear many things. We can see how people progressed, what is wise and what is foolish. We can develop this vivek or discrimination during life. But if we weren't really focused on spiritual development during our grihastha life, just barely to survive, and we weren't really focused that our family would lead spiritual life, then what we have gathered all this time? Nothing, just rubbish. We have collected rubbish, so we are full of rubbish. We cannot share rubbish with others. We can share, many share rubbish with others, but this sharing of rubbish just contaminates others. But if our only focus was on spiritual life, then we can share spiritual gems. Of course, these are not our gems, but if we share them, we collect them even more. This is the secret of spiritual life. More we share, more we have. And Krishna is extremely pleased with those who share his gems. Yes. Nacha tatsman manusheshu kashin me priyakritama. Bhavita nacha me tasmat aneh priyataro bhavi. He explains in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that no one is as dear to me as one who explains this knowledge to the devotees. And no one will ever be as dear as such a devotee. So, yes, this is extremely important. So, Vanaprastha is one who lives in Vrindavan internally and serves Radha and Krishna. And this was also instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami by Lord Chaitanya himself. He said to him, Amani manadahanya Krishna nama sadalabe. So, Amani, first we should be without any sense of pride. Be completely humble. Yes. If you're not humble and you fight with others for my right, and who is this my? Actually, the whole process of Krishna consciousness is to give up our false ego. And also, our false ego that I'm the master. My only true ego, I'm the servant. And also this family life is also meant for this. This fighting between husbands and wives and parents and children is just to establish our false ego. Yes, and nothing more. Yes. So if one properly understands I'm just a servant, there is no fight. Who will fight with his master? Yes. And if we just we don't associate, we don't identify with our role that I'm the mother, I'm the father, I'm the husband, I'm the wife, I'm this, I'm that. We don't identify with this role, but we should perform this role as a service to Krishna. That doesn't mean that then everyone can play the role of a father, or that everyone can play the role of a mother. No. Some role is entrusted to you as a service, but you are not this. You shouldn't identify with this. I'm a mother, I'm a father. No, but this is my service entrusted to me. So if I take seriously my service, I will follow the etiquette of this role. Yes. So the role of a husband or a father is to take care of family, is to establish strong principles of sadhana in the house, to discipline, to enforce discipline in the house. This is father's duty, husband's duty. And if he's not powerful, he doesn't perform his duty properly. And mother's duty is to follow the husband and not fight with him, to support family with this motherly love, to provide food for the family, cook food for the family, to feed family with love and with food also, because we have the saying in Slovene, I don't know, maybe it's German also, that love goes through the belly. Yes. So, and the mother should be always at home. Yes, this is her role. Because if there is no mother at home, the home becomes crematorium. There is, is deprived of mother's love. Yes. Can you imagine? People want to enjoy on material level, and therefore they don't care for their roles and their duties, their service actually for the Lord, and they put children away from home just that they can enjoy in this life, and they put parents away. They don't care for children and the parents, and children are all day long alone practically. Mothers are working, fathers are working, and so children don't see their parents till 5, 6 p.m. and then they're completely exhausted coming home, and they just watch TV to relax a little bit, and they go to sleep. So they have practically no connection with the parents at all. Yes, this is craziness. So the process of spiritual life is to give up our false ego and just take the role seriously as a service, not identify with the role, but take it seriously. And when in Vanaprastha ashram also, we don't identify with this ashram. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya prayed, Naham vipranacha narapatir napivaisho nashudro, Naham varninacha grihapatir nova nastoyatirva, Kintu prodan nikila paramananda purnamritabder, Gopi bhartu padkamulur dasa dasana dasa. What I really am is just servant of the servant of the servant. I'm just a servant. I'm not a grihasta, I'm not a sannyasi, although he was a sannyasi, and he was grihasta before. And not a brahmana or vaishya or shudra. Yes. Although he was the best of brahmanas, he didn't identify with this. And what I am, I'm just a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, who supports the gopis. Yes. So this should be our understanding in life. And then only we can share jewels of Krishna consciousness. If we don't have this understanding, we can't share anything actually. We can share something externals, but externals will not be able to connect us on deeper level. Yes. Externals are good to certain level, but we should proceed and connect in our consciousness with the Lord, in our heart, deeply. Hare Krishna. Is there any question? Yes, who was first? I don't know. You have the mic, so you can ask.
Okay. Oh, it's pretty loud. One moment. I have a question regarding, you said about that our process is not mechanical, and I also feel it like that. That when I chant or when I have some service, it's like a huge difference between when I make it mechanical and consciously. And yes, I also thought about it a lot. Yes, it's. But on the other hand, we always say that this service and that service purify us. The chanting Hare Krishna is purifying us, and this and that. And sometimes it's difficult for me to understand. We describe it like a very powerful practice. For example, to wash the pots. Yes, but mostly bhaktas, as me, it's like mostly we cannot really constantly wash the pots really consciously. And is it still like make a so to say spiritual sense, even so I make it not consciously, or not? So
Yes. These spiritual practices like chanting of the holy name is extremely powerful process. Can cleanse even if you are unconscious. But to really connect, cleansing is something else than connecting. You should understand this. To really connect, we should hanker for connection. Yes. It's, of course, better to wash pots with this consciousness. I'm a servant of Lord Nrsimhadev, for example. And in such a way, this cleaning becomes blissful if we have this proper consciousness. But just the process without consciousness can purify us to great degree, actually. By Vaidhi Bhakti alone, this is process because it is ordained by Shastra. It's not with proper feeling, deep feeling, but because it's my duty, I perform it. I'm instructed by Shastra and by Guru. We can attain Vaikuntha. So we can go to spiritual world, but will not attain the sweetness of Vrindavan, of relationship of Vrindavan. Yes, this is confirmed in Shastra. So, therefore, we were given the best possible way to attain the most deep and most intimate and most confidential relationship with the Lord possible by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So we should try to develop this and not just mechanically engage in the service. Understand? So maybe in the beginning it's not possible to really develop these feelings that acharyas express in their songs, for example. And we should follow the process as explained by Shastra, as explained by Prabhupada, as explained by our spiritual masters, as explained by our authorities. But at the same time, we should hear regularly and with eagerness to understand properly, with eagerness to go deeper, and we should have this prayerful mood. Please help me, Lord, to connect with you more deeply. Prabhupada gave universal explanation of Mahamantra, which can be applied for one who comes in devotional life the first day, and the one who is topmost Paramahamsa. He explains that this Mahamantra means, "Oh Srimati Radharani, oh Shri Krishna, please engage me in your service." Yes. So this can be our constant prayer. Please engage me in your service. And I'm asking you to connect with you on a deeper level, that I can develop love for you. This is my only goal, my only hope, my only aspiration. Yes. If we have such an attitude, then we'll be helped. As Lord Jesus Christ said, if you knock, it will be opened. The door will open. But if we don't knock, the door will not open. Hare Krishna.
Then shortly, when all this service is so purifying, it's sometimes very difficult for me to understand how it can be that we have, like in the history of ISKCON, a lot of great Vaishnavas fall down. So from a pretty high step when they practice a huge amount of years and chanted 16 rounds every day, and then they fall down and make some sinful activities. So it's very difficult for me then to really to understand how it can be that it's so purifying that we say during this monad, Kartik monads, to offer this. It's some like a huge spiritual progress to chant. It's huge spiritual progress, but still we have some such examples.
Yes, a very good question, and very important to understand. Although the process is so purifying, then by this process, which is so purifying, you start to see things very clearly, and you understand things in material world very clearly. And by this, you can become proud. And pride comes before the fall. And because of pride, we can think that we can offend Vaishnavas. Understand? That we are superior to other Vaishnavas. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya said, Amani manadahanya. Be extremely humble. Yes. Like Trinada Pisanichna Tururivas Krishna. Amani namanadina. Kirtanya sadahari. Be amani or amanina. Without any pride. Yes, I forgot before to say the other part of the verse I wanted to express. Is Amani manadahanya Krishna nama sadalabe. Vraja Radha Krishna Seva Manase Koribe. That one first should be extremely humble. Without extreme humbleness, we'll commit offenses. And if we commit offenses, then Bhakti Devi is extremely displeased. And then the consequence of these offenses can be really hard. That we develop taste for sinful life, or we are pushed into sinful activities. Yes, and then even bhava can become abhava. It is explained by offenses, though this is extremely rarely and practically impossible, as Prabhupada mentioned in one of purpose from Bhagavad Gita we read the day before yesterday in 9.2. So be extremely humble. Don't fight for your position. Don't fight for your right. Be humble. Yes. This is Amani. Manada means that you give all honor to everyone else. Yes. So if you have such disposition, you'll be safe from offenses. But this is very difficult to achieve. Not to defend yourself when you're accused, for example, of something that you haven't done, or that you did something that you, or that you didn't do something that you did. It's very difficult not to defend, because we know eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, these are basic needs of the body, of material life. So if you can give up defending, then you are Amani by Lord Chaitanya's definition. Amani manadahanya. Krishna nama sada labe. And chant the names of Krishna all the time. Sada means all the time. Yes. And then Vraja Radha Krishna Seva. Then you can serve in Vraja Radha Krishna Seva. In Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna. Manasa koribe. And this can be done in your mind, in your heart. So, on the external level, you should follow the principles of Adi Bhakti. With great humility. And extremely respectful towards everyone. And then you can connect within your heart to this Vraja Bhakti in your heart. Yes, this is the solution. And those who became proud and offended devotees, they fell down. And this is also explained by Jiva Goswami, that such fall down is possible only for those who developed Lokiki Shraddha, not Shastriya Shraddha. There are two kinds of Shraddha, Lokiki Shraddha and Shastriya Shraddha. Lokiki Shraddha means I just have faith what I hear from devotees or other people. I'm not really inquiring about Tattva deeply. And Shastriya Shraddha is to have exclusive faith in Shastra. If we don't develop exclusive faith in Shastra, then we will have only Lokiki Shraddha. And by Lokiki Shraddha, Jiva Goswami explains, one can fall down. But one who develops Shastriya Shraddha, it's not possible to fall down. So when Krishna says, Apichit sudurachara bhajate mama nanyapak, sadur eva samantabhyak samyak vyavasito hisa. That even if one commits abominable act, and if he's completely fixed in my devotional service, he should be treated and considered as a sadhu only, not a sadhu. Sadhu eva, only sadhu. But Jiva Goswami says that this is just theoretical. Even if. So sometimes we want to defeat other person in argument. And he's stubborn with his argumentation. And then we theoretically accept their argument. And we say, even if what you are saying is true, still my argument is valid. And so Krishna says, Apichit, even if my devotee commits abominable act, still he's saintly. So Jiva Goswami explains, one with Shastra Shraddha will never fall down. Yes, and only those with Lokiki Shraddha can fall down. So just to commit offenses is the sign that we haven't attained Shastra Shraddha yet. Yes. So be aware of offenses. Be extremely humble and study Shastra properly. Develop faith in Shraddha, and if there are some doubts, inquire. Search for the truth. Don't just accept something blindly. Yes. Search for the truth. And if devotees tell you something and Shastra is something different, search for the truth. Yes. Don't just accept something because it's convenient to accept. Yes. Then can be also extremely elevated devotees who preach something that is against Shastra. And we shouldn't accept this. Yes. Therefore, we are taught by Shastra and Guru that we should accept the authority of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. And Guru and Sadhu base their life on Shastra. So if Guru and Sadhu preach Shastra and everything accordance to Shastra, then their preaching, their philosophy, their teaching is bona fide. So we should know Shastra. And if something is against Shastra, we should inquire that we gain proper understanding. But if this proper so-called proper understanding is not again supported with Shastra, we shouldn't accept it. That doesn't mean that we then offend these advanced devotees. Yes, what you speak is ashastric, against the Shastra. So you are nonsense. You should go away. And so, no. We should show proper respect and don't offend anyone. What to speak of advanced devotees, even if they preach something that is against Shastra. Who knows why do they do this? They know better. Yes. So, but I just take what is the verdict of Shastra. This is proper attitude. Then you will be protected. Hare Krishna.
My question was answered, actually.
Was already answered. Okay, good. Anything else? Gantharaj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisance.